Hi, this is Sally, and welcome to Heart of a Soul. So, today, of course, sorry, I want to thank everybody that's liking and watching my videos. I really appreciate the love and support, and those that are reaching out to me and, just thanking me for making the videos. I thank you guys. So anyways, today's video is going to be about acceptance. And of course, again, this topic comes about because of a conversation that I had with a beautiful soul that shared some stories with me and how they just learned to accept life for and the things that have happened to them. And I am amazed of all the things that this person had to overcome. And it's really an inspiration to me, because a lot of us think that our life is horrible and we're in bad situations, and sometimes we need to be reminded that there's always somebody that's a little worse off than we are, and to be grateful for where we are and the things that we have and the experiences that we've been able to have in life. So something that I took from the conversation was accepting of our past, our present, and our future. Accepting of ourselves fully and completely, of who we are and where we're at in life, and accepting of the world and the people around us. A lot of times we hold on to situations and circumstances that have put us in certain situations, and we hold on to them, and we think that that's who we are, and that situation made us a certain way, made us a certain person. And that might be true to a certain extent, if you took something positive out of it. But I think if it was something that you're holding on to and you're resenting it and you have anger towards it or frustration, and you carry that around with you, you're not accepting of the situation. You're actually letting it control you. And so one thing that I had to learn was, yes, things have happened to me, and I've had certain experiences and lessons that I've learned, and then I leave it alone, and then that's it. And it has no control over me. It has no control over anything that's going on in my future. It doesn't get to determine where I'm going or who I am as a person. When we start to accept our past, our present, and our future, we allow it to take its course naturally. It came, it happened, and now it gets to go. When we try to hold on to these things, it starts to take up space in our life where other things could reside, more positive things. And so when I say accept, it's just, it is what it is. We take it for what it is, and then we let it go. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, how I've said in my last video, or most of my videos, not to settle for where you're at. And I'm not asking you to settle. I'm asking you to acknowledge where you are and be okay with it. Because that's who we are and where we are right now, this very moment, and it's the present moment that matters the most. Yes, it matters what we do in this moment to prepare us for the next one, but this moment, it came and it went. It came and it went, and it's just going to keep going like that, and it's going to keep going like that. And as long as you allow it to do it, run its course naturally, the next things to come are going to be more positive and flow in a better manner. And I'm only saying this from experience, because there's a lot of things that have happened to me that I could hold on to, that I could resent, that I could be angry towards, and I'm just not, because I know that a lot of those things did make me aware, did teach me some things that I'm never gonna do again. And it has allowed for better opportunities to come my way. The second thing I needed to learn was to accept myself for who I am, where I'm at, and where I'm going. And again, with your past, present, and future. I've made mistakes in my life. I've made bad decisions. I've been in, toxic relationships. I've done things that I shouldn't have done, gone places I shouldn't have gone. But I know better now. And I have to learn, and I'm still learning, to forgive myself for a lot of these things. And it's a process, and I've been working on it for a long time, and it's something that I'm still working on, because things happen that trigger me, that make me feel a certain way. And I'm like, okay, what is it about this situation that made me feel like that? And when I could pinpoint it, then I could say, okay, it happened, and I let it go. And I accepted it for what it is. There's nothing that could ever change anything that's ever happened to us in our life. We can only control ourself and our future self, and the things that we're going to do later on in life. And even that is to a certain extent. Sometimes things don't work out the way that we would like them to work out. But when we accept that, and say, okay, well, maybe I didn't get that job, or maybe I didn't get approved for the loan, or whatever your case may be, accept it. Figure out where it went wrong, what it is that you might need to work on harder, or tweak here and there, to maybe when you do apply again, it'll work out in your favor. So again, not settling, but accepting the situation for what it is. And instead of saying, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't get this measly job, or the loan officer's so stupid, why didn't they do this, why didn't they do that, and getting all bent out of shape about it and creating this negative energy, then you start to block the things that are supposed to happen for you. And like I said, you take it for what it is, and you let it go, so that the next thing could come in. And not everything is going to work out the way that we want it to, and not everything is going to be a positive experience. But when we could release it, we could let the next experience come in. So when we learn to accept ourselves, and this was something that I had struggled with for a long time, because I was told to act a certain way, not to say certain things. And if you knew me as a child, like, I was bold. I said what I needed to say. But I was taught over the years not to say, and not to speak up, and not to speak my mind. Because the person that was teaching me that's how they coped with their life. And so even then I knew that it was wrong, and then I ended up getting hurt. Now there's nothing that I could do to ever change those situations, and I've accepted it for what they are. I accepted that person because they only know what they knew at that time, and they felt like they were doing the right thing. I don't think the person wanted me to get hurt, but they didn't know what was best for me. They don't know me, even as a child. That's why I allow my children to express themselves to me freely, because I need to know who they are. I need to know who they are so that I could parent them accordingly, the best that I know how. And that brings me to the next part of it, is accepting the people that are around us. Now, I can accept my coworker for being lazy, or I can accept a family member being rude and disrespectful. I can accept that that's who they are, but I don't have to put up with it. So when we accept the people around us and the world around us for what it is, it has less of an effect on us, because we could step back and say, you know what? I know that that's how you are. That doesn't fit my life. And we have the freedom to walk away and not have to deal with these people, but still accept them and understand who they are and where they're coming from, or who they are, and know that we don't have to deal with them if we don't want to. So and it's hard to forgive, and it's hard to accept, and I've always heard, and I'm sure you guys heard it too, that we are our own worst critic. And we really need to start with ourselves and forgiving ourselves, which I've spoke on before, and accepting ourselves for who we truly are, and not being embarrassed of it, and not being ashamed of it, and not trying to hide it to please other people. And when we start to shape our own reality, and we start to shape our own lives, the world around us, our immediate, surroundings will start to change. And that might mean that some people are going to exit our lives, and we have to learn how to accept that. There's some people that I thought were going to be in my life for a really long time, and for whatever reason, God took them, and I had to learn to accept that. And I forgave them. I forgave myself. I accepted the situation for what it is. I accepted that person for who they are, and I even thanked them. I thanked them for the time that we shared, and maybe not verbally and to their face, but between me and God, I thank them for the lesson that they taught me, the time that we shared, the experiences, the conversations, the memories, whatever it was that they provided for me that I needed at that time. I thank them, because I really believe that some people come into our lives for certain reasons, and that's just me. And I found it really helpful to forgive them, accept them, and just really move on with my life. So, but really it starts with ourselves, learning to accept ourselves, and once you could do that, because it's hard to accept yourself, it's hard to forgive yourself, it's hard to love yourself the way you love other people. And that's something that I'm learning to do too. And you hear a lot of people talk about self-love this and self-love that, but what is it really? And that's something that I spoke on before, but there's some other realizations that I came to recently, and what that really means to me, and I'll go into it in another video another day. But for today, that's my video, and I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.